All right, we're going to turn now to our monthly CMSC Corner segment, in which we chat with leading figures in the world of large volume and close tolerance 3D measurement systems. The Coordinate Metrology Society, our partner and the leading organization for professionals in this space, works with us to bring you this feature each and every month. Well, the Coordinate Metrology Society's conference, CMSC 2016, as you all may know, is coming up in just a month now, July 25th through 29th in the suburbs of Nashville, Murfreesboro actually, Tennessee. There's a lot to see at this year's show. The Measurement Zone, and this year is going to feature the brand new Education Zone for the first time. Many workshops, some great competitions, loads of networking opportunities, and a tour of Nissan's plant in nearby Smyrna. And of course, the heart of the conference are original, unpublished technical white papers from experts throughout industry and academia.
Might even see Elvis.
That's right, you never know. That's Nashville, that's right. Well, as usual, Dirk and I are going to be at the CMSC, as will this month's guest, Rina Molari-Korgel of Hexagon Manufacturing Intelligence. Rina is also the current chairperson of the CMSC's Executive Committee. So Rina, welcome to the show.
Thank you, welcome.
Well, it's great to have you here. Well, as I mentioned in my little lead in there's a lot going on at this month's conference. And one thing we talked about is the ever popular Measurement Zone, of course, is back. And this year you're adding an Education Zone to the Measurement Zone. So, in your opinion, really kind of what is that all about, and what does that bring to the table to add an Education Zone to the Measurement Zone?
Hi. Well, first of all, the purpose of the Measurement Zone and the Education Zone is to provide knowledge and understanding to support metrology education and practical methodology requirements for the specialists, the technicians, the certified operators that use the technologies. So we're here to gather data on the way people actually use the equipment and to turn that data into training procedures, to see what people typically will do that is bad practice, and to incorporate what are good practices. So the Measurement Zone has typically been 5 different zones, all encompassing various hands-on techniques, various educational learning opportunities. And now we have divided up the 2 zones into a Measurement Zone and an Education Zone, such that the Education Zone can focus more on the educational aspect of their focus, and the Measurement Zone is still incorporating lots of fun techniques to get people, the audience, to do audience participation. There's lots of hands-on guidance on how to use the different pieces of equipment in the Measurement Zone, as well as hands-on competition. That's always been a very lively area to try to get in there. They have 26 slots for people to actually get in there, measure an article, and at the very end, there'll be a grand prize winner to see who got closest to the answer that the experts have provided before the setup ever began. On the Education Zone, let me also mention that the Measurement Zone is being sponsored by Metrology. We thank them very much. And the newly created Education Zone is being sponsored by Creaform. And in there, we're focusing on, again, e-learning. So people will be able to come in, grab a laptop and a set of headphones, and sort through the different classes that are available and take them as they wish. There'll be 3 different workshops being given on GD&T, laser tracker usage, and the star of the show has been the Metrology Jeopardy! There's going to be 4 fun rounds of Jeopardy! The first 3 will be the playoff rounds, and the last one will kind of be the grand finale for kind of like a Super Bowl of Metrology Jeopardy! And all of the questions in the Jeopardy! Game are being based off of the questions that are given in our certification test for the knowledge base. That's level 1 knowledge base certification. So we invite all the people to come on down to the exhibit hall, stop in the Education Zone, stop in the Measurement Zone, and take a look at all the opportunities that they have there at CMSC 2016.
It's lively. We've been there. I mean, we haven't obviously seen the Education Zone yet, but the Measurement Zone is always a lively part of the exhibit hall. So yeah, you're definitely going to want to check that out.
A lot of cool equipment there.
A lot, definitely. Professor Ed Morse of UNC Charlotte is going to be your keynote speaker this year, and a lot of academics, of course, attend CMSC. So from your perspective, what do you think that academics bring to industry and vice versa? What does industry bring to academia?
Well, goodness, I think that academia gets to hit metrology on the bottom level as well as the very top level. On the bottom level, I'm talking about our entry-level folks. Academia has come in and seen the need that our profession has in getting qualified people. So they have then gone back to their schools and started to develop programs, excuse me, that are focused on using metrology, in not just metrology alone, but in assembly and in manufacturing, so that the students get a very well-rounded education as to how metrology fits into assembly, reading the blueprints, extracting those GD&T callouts, and being able to figure out what kind of dimensions and what kind of measurements need to be taken to satisfy those requirements. So that's on the bottom end. And when I talk about the top end, I think academia gets to come in and show us, the community, where it is that we need to go. You know, they have a very fresh perspective, almost a very naive perspective, I want to say, because those of us that work on the factory floor tend to get a little jaded through the years. We'll say, oh, you know, no, that'll never work, that'll never pass. When academia can come in there and with a fresh perspective give us some new ideas on approaches on how to do things, and maybe avenues that we hadn't thought of on pursuing. So once again, I think that academia serves the community very well on both the top and the bottom levels.
You know, you mentioned, or Mike had mentioned Ed Morse and University of North Carolina, Charlotte. They're your partners in the Precision Path Consortium, which is meeting at the show. For those who don't know, Precision Path brings industry and academia together to address the needs of aerospace and other key industries in terms of high accuracy metrology and so forth. I mean, how do you see Precision Path benefiting industry?
Well, I see it because it is a coalition made up of the community itself, between the OEMs and the users of the equipment. And these are the people who make large-scale, high-tolerance artifacts. And metrology seems to be the biggest leading technology, or that lends itself to this industry. So what we plan to do is try to roadmap, try to figure out all the possible blockages, what is needed for this industry to continue to stay on top of large-scale manufacturing. So it's almost like trying to make a fishbone chart. We're trying to ask the community, what are all the inputs that go into being an organization that is a manufacturer of large-scale, high-tolerance parts. And once we can figure out what all these inputs are, we're looking for the roadblocks. Okay, what are the areas that are going to be hard for us to broach, hard for us to get across, and those are going to be the areas that academia as well as our OEMs will need to focus on. So I think this community between CMSC, UNC Charlotte, and the Precision Path Consortium, we hope to drive the path to keep us in the forefront of large-scale manufacturing by identifying the roadblocks and having the OEMs and academia focus on those roadblocks.
And we're running out of time, Rina, but I do want to mention to everyone out there that there's a survey that you are conducting on Precision Path. The website is www.precisionpathconsortium.com. It's going to ask about things like details on industry professionals, what kind of metrology equipment they use, all sorts of things like that. So you guys will get that survey. Of course, we're encouraging everyone out there to go out and take that survey, and you guys will have the results. Well, Rina, thank you for joining us today on CMSC Corner. We're going to see you, gosh, in like 4 or 5 weeks down in Murfreesboro, and we'll talk more then.
All right, see you then. Bye-bye, Mike. Bye,
Thanks, Rina.
See you, Rina.
See ya.
Thanks a lot.